Milwaukee Tools MX line is now in the landscaping and lawn mowing space with a backpack blower. This is available as a bare tool for $999, or you can get it in a kit with two 12-amp-hour Forge batteries for $2,999. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple sales. Milwaukee's MX line is 72 volts, and the specs on this battery backpack blower are pretty impressive. 800 CFM and 190 mile per hour wind coming out the tube. So that puts it really close to the Stihl BR800, which is a gas powered, in my opinion, kind of more of the top of the line gas powered backpack blower. There are other brands that are also with very similar, but they're also considered top tier. So this putting out that amount of power is pretty significant. Weight on these backpack blowers is always something to consider. So we just look at the one battery, 11 pounds, 10 ounces just for the Forge battery. Let's take a look at the complete backpack blower with a battery connected. 27 pounds, 8 ounces, and there are some things hanging off the scale, but that's going to be exactly where it's at. 27 pounds, 8 ounces. My Stihl BR800X with almost a full tank of fuel, 21 pounds, 10 ounces. Milwaukee Tools states that this unit will run 20 minutes on high and 40 minutes on low with the Forge 12-amp-hour battery. I was able to actually break that and get 24 minutes of runtime 2 times in a row, running it on high, wide open throttle the whole time, clearing a parking lot of any of the debris that we had in it. That's pretty significant. The power of this reminds me of my Stihl BR800, which I really enjoy. The runtime here is much greater than any of the M18 models that are out there, and the power is greatly appreciated compared to even the 4-battery M18 model, which is 650 CFM. So this, to me, gave me a complete experience of battery-powered, gas-like performance, except you had to deal with the runtime. Now that runtime is pretty fair, because I think most people are going to go out and be able to use that on the job and go through a battery here, battery there. Cost for doing that is up there. But what kind of gets me is the charge time, and the included rapid charger is not a supercharger. So the rapid charge is going to take probably an hour and a half. I have not sat and timed it. I'm basically going and doing a job, letting it charge, coming back, and it's either close to being done or done. So we're talking a solid hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes on the charger that is included to get this battery from 0 to 100%. That's significant. Now they do sell a supercharger that is also going to have more of a cooling capacity in it, allow you to push some air through these batteries to make sure they're not getting hot. That supercharger will get this battery charged, this 12-amp-hour, in a little bit over 65 minutes. Controls on this are absolutely superb, in my opinion. Power button on the top, you'll see the MX light turns on. All your battery fuel gauge is right here. You end up with different modes that you have, and I like those modes because the trigger pull is fairly short, so we can drop down and just go through, and that allows us to just get our full use out of everything. If you really want to conserve on battery and drop down, you can still hold the trigger wide open. And there also is, I'm going to turn this off, there is a cruise control that you can use, and it works wonderfully and holds everything in place. This thing blows a ton of air and would totally screw up the shop in the shape that it's in right now. On the bottom, we have a nice way to just adjust this out. And I'm a taller guy, and normally I have these adjusted all the way out to the end. On this model, not the case. I have it in the middle. So there's a ton of adjustability there. At the end of the tube, we can unscrew that, bring this in, and there is a place at the end for different attachments, although nothing comes with it. So very nice tube, well built, great rubber grip. The way this backpack blower is built, it's nice and slim, sits out a little bit, but it's very, very comfortable. If we just want to pull this up and connect our tube, it's a little bit of a stretch, in the beginning, but it works itself in over time, which I think is great. Looking at the back of it, you can see how slim it is. The battery fits in here perfect. Nothing sticks out. This is your intake tube that's on the side. It is out of the way, not gonna pull anything through. If we look at the top, there is a safety on the battery. So in order to undo it, we have to push this over and then unclip the battery, lift the battery out, and we're in business. Not a big deal. I think that this safety here is interesting, not needed in my opinion, but it does keep everything in place. If you were to happen to hook it on something, no big deal. Looking at the opposite side, this is everything I expected from Milwaukee. It matches up with their different ways that they have their 4-battery M18 model. It is very thick, very comfortable, very adjustable. The one thing that throws me, here is the handle to pick the whole thing up unless you use the handle on the battery. I keep reaching and trying to grab through this plastic, thinking there's gonna be a plastic hole there. There is not. It is this type of way of picking it up. It works good. There's no heat that comes through this. Fully adjustable. This is actually very comfortable on your back, gives you some room to get some airflow through. This adjusts up and down for whatever you'd like. I mean, in any way, this is adjustable. There is no waist strap. That is probably the only thing on this that maybe some people would want. I wouldn't. Milwaukee claims that this is 65 decibels, and I'm going to make a short on that. I want to find out where and how far away from this they're looking at that 65 decibels. It is not a loud machine at all. When you're using this and the power is coming out of it compared to the gas-powered machine, it is very quiet. It is not even high-pitched. It's just a very consistent, nice, vibration-free backpack blower. I think that's the one thing I took away from it after using it for a very long period of time, multiple times. It's comfortable, and I like that. And the weight of it was not something that I was like, wow, this is super heavy. It felt very familiar to what I'm used to, except for some of the noise and maybe, you know, there's a little lack of power in this compared to the other model that I'm used to, but not much. It is so close. You pull this out and use it over top of the other one 90% of the time just because of the ease of putting it on and the convenience of the battery. Now, if you're gonna need serious runtime, you're gonna have to have some batteries charged for the MX model, but that's probably its only downside. Well, the other downside being the cost. So if you already have MX batteries, $999 for the backpack blower. If you don't have the MX batteries and want to buy the kit, $3,000 for them and the charger. It's going to depend on what you need for the job that you're doing. Some places mandate that you have to have battery operated equipment, and this is a very viable source for the commercial guy, and I think that that's very interesting. The Forge batteries to me have been solid, 100%. I know I've read some reviews on the older MX batteries, non-Forge, that people were having issues with. I think that's long past. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that this setup is going to be very, very solid and usable for many commercial people. So if you're in need of a very high quality battery powered backpack blower and you want to look at the MX line, I think this is a great place to start. It has some great features, good build quality, great handle. Everything here is pretty much how I would like to have it. Wearing it was very comfortable. Lots of great here. Just look at the sales that are out there, and I'll try to keep our description updated with anything that I find, or subscribe to our channel. I'll try to keep you guys in the loop as of different sales going on through our community, and we'll go from there. Give us a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.